So again, for today, it shouldn't be that bad. We have compound inequalities. All right. So let's talk about it. All right. Now what I want to do is, just for us right now, I want to start with question number 3. Well, actually, I'll start with question number 2. We'll do 2 and 3, and then I'll explain 1 and 4. I think they really should have started with 2 and 3. All right, because those make the most sense. All right, so here we go. So I'm first going to graph x is greater than 0. So if I ask you to graph x greater than 0, you should put an open circle, and then you're going to the right. Now, I want you to do this for me. All right, you have to listen carefully because they kind of made a mistake here. I want you to put less than negative 3. All right, do me a favor. All right, change it to negative 3. Or x is less than negative 3. There'd be an open circle at negative 3, and then we're going to the left. All right. So this is an or statement. And what an or statement is this. Listen carefully now. You can be over here, or you can be what? Over there. All right? That's how I try to tell kids that's kind of obvious why that's an or. All right, it can't be an and statement. The reason it can't be an and statement, listen to me, because I can't be here, right? I can't be there and over here at the same time. So everybody see that? I cannot be in both spots. That's why it's not appropriate to say and. That's an or statement. All right? So the solution here, the main thing is in interval notation. So the interval notation would be from negative infinity to negative 3, union 0 to infinity. I'll explain it. Union just means combined. All right, you're putting it together. All right, is everybody okay with that? So the answer here again, negative infinity to negative 3, union 0 to infinity. This is our or statement. Or statements go in opposite directions. All right, they go in opposite directions. Everybody happy with that? Yes, sir. Well, there could be a bracket if it was equal to. Right, but there isn't an equal to. You good? All right, so here we go. Now I want to address number 3. So G is greater than or equal to 4. So we put a solid dot at 4. And we would go to the right. Less than negative 3. Open circle at negative 3. And going where? To the left. Everybody happy with that? All right. Now, all right, let's practice putting it in interval notation. So in interval notation, this would be from then union bracket 4 to infinity. All right. That looks kind of complicated, but when you break it down, guess what? It's not hard at all. It's not hard at all. All right, is everybody good with that? Okay, so now we're going to go to number 1. All right, here's how I want you to think of number 1. Number 1, n is between 1 and negative 4. That's what that means. We don't say negative 4 is less than or equal to n, less than or equal to 1. Right? I'm trying to make this perfectly clear. We're saying that n is between -4 and 1. Everybody with me? Throw my desk. You're okay. Hurry up, because you're a little behind. Now, this right here, pay attention, says n is less than or equal to 1. Does everybody agree with that? So I'm going to put 1 solid dot. Just put it down. I don't care. Just sit down. Then what I want you to do is now, you have to listen carefully now. All right? I want to read the other direction. All right? I don't want to say -4 is less than or equal to n. I'm trying to tell you something. You have to listen to me or it's going to be confusing. It's very simple, but it can be confusing if you're not watching me. Pay attention. I'm showing you something right now. Get your head up. I'm reading it this way now, guys. N is what? Greater than or equal to, very good, -4. If you read it backwards, you say the inequality backwards also. Everybody understand what I just did? All right, so let's say one more time just to make sure, because this is the confusing part. All right, I said first, n is less than or equal to 1. Then I read the other direction. N is greater than or equal to -4. Do you understand that? That's how you can read the inequality. All right? So now, if n is greater than or equal to -4, I will put a solid dot at -4, and we're greater than, so we're going this way, and we're less than 1, so we're going this way. So they're running into each other. Does everybody agree with that? So that's what the inequality should look like. All right? That's the answer. It's everything between what? -4 and 1. Is it inclusive? Yes. Inclusive means it includes the endpoints. All right? So, interval notation would be bracket -4, 1, close the bracket. Everybody happy with that explanation? That's not bad, right? All right. So here we go. Let's check out number 4. So somebody tell me, how is the best way to read that? What is it? That's not bad, but there's a better way. What? Yes? Nope. What? Yay. Thank you for listening. All right. Now, what you guys said is correct. I'm not going to argue with you about that, right? But I'm just saying, if you're looking at that, I would want you to know that just means P is between what? -4 and 4. That's all that means. That makes it easier to understand, right? So to me, again, that's straightforward. P is between -4 and 4. So if you understand that, you now can just look at the graph and say we're starting at -4, right? And we're ending at what? 4. And it's everything what? It's everything in between. All right? That's what we're doing. All right, does anybody have any questions there? Now, if we write it in interval notation, we would simply say what? Come on, join the class now. Make sure you're understanding it. All right, because it is very easy. And again, there are rules for all of these, but I don't care about the rules. I want you to say, look, that's just simple. That's common sense. All right, that's what I want you to look at. All right, that's very, very easy. All right, now let's move forward. All right, now your job is to write the compound inequality. All right, so for question number 5, we would simply say x is less than or equal to -3. Now, is this an and statement or an or statement? Or, because you can't be in both places. Do you understand that? Right? So this would be or, and then you would just say what? Or what? Wow, that was kind of weak, guys. That was weak. Very weak. So again, starting the beginning. X is less than or equal to or Come on, some of you guys are weak now. You're saying things you're not even believing what you're saying. I don't want the wrong answer. I really don't. All right? Again, we read numbers from what? Left to right. So you shouldn't be saying anything about 3 first, because that's after what? That's after negative 3. So come on, guys. Say it. You have to be able to talk math now. So here we go. X is... All right, some of you march at your own beat. It'd be nice if you got together. All right? So again, that's perfect. That's perfect. All right? You should be able to look at that and say, to me, that's just obvious. All right? Now, if I had to write that in an interval notation, of course, we would say, I like it. Good. All right. That's not that hard, right? No, it's easy. All right. Let's take a look now at question number 6. All right. If we are doing question number 6, all right, the inequality would be, let's go. Beautiful, beautiful. And again, let me say this too, guys. Those of you guys who are wanting to change your grade and make it better, you got to participate more. You got to be wrong more sometimes. It's all right. Doesn't matter. All right? Do every problem and understand exactly what I'm saying, and speak up if you're not hearing me or you don't understand what I'm saying. All right? Does everybody agree? That's kind of easy. All right, now let's do the interval notation, which would be, come on. Now all you got to do is agree with that. Now, if you're not sure now, all right, now let's talk about 7 and 8. That is an and or an or statement. And, all right, so we're between what two numbers?
0 and 5.
So here's how I like to tell my kids. 0 goes first, X is in between, and then 5 goes next. All right? Now, for me, here's where you got to listen so I can make it easy for you. All right? For me, I read this as X is less than 5. Is everybody good? Is everybody okay with that?
Yes.
So I would put down less than 5. And then I'm reading the other direction. So it would be X is what? Now, for some reason, kids have trouble with that. So I want to tell you this. Whenever you're in between, right, the signs will always be going in the same direction. The signs will always be going in the same direction. But hear me out one more time. Listen to me. As I am reading this direction, X is what? Greater than or equal to 0. Now that's like the second or third time I've done that, so now you got to be paying attention, understanding how I'm reading. Because I didn't read 0 is less than or equal to X. Read the variable first. So you would say X is greater than or equal to 0. Other direction, X is less than 5. But of course, that's not how we really talk. We just simply say X is between what? 0 and 5. That makes sense. All right? Now, with that little bit of information, for number 8, X is between what? So we write down negative 5. We write down negative 5. We write down X. And we write down 0. Now, some of you guys have already got it down. I'm happy. All right, I just like to start there because I don't want to make a mistake. These require a little bit more thought. All right? And so X is what compared to 0? And X is what compared to negative 5? All right? And so with that, all right, I think I forgot to do interval notation. So interval notation for number 8 would be -5, 0, right? And now the interval notation for number 7 would be bracket. Yes. Guys, you agree? Come on, that's pretty easy. That's pretty simple. All right? Now, again, now it just gets a little bit more complicated, but not for us, because we're masters of solving equations. All right? So here we go. I want everybody to take a look at question number 9. Question number 9. Here's what I want you to do. How do I solve the first part? You just say, tell me. Yes, so it would be what? Beautiful. K is less than -4. Or, beautiful. Everybody happy with that?
Yes.
And now it's just graph it on the number line. So open circle going to the left, solid dot going to the right. Everybody good with that? Now, the interval notation. Interval notation. Yep. Good. Good. Very easy, guys. Very simple. All right, let's see how smart we are. Let's look at number 10. Uh-oh. Tell me. Yeah, that's the mistake everybody makes. N is greater than -2. The reason why it's greater than -2 is because change the sign when you multiply or divide by a negative. All right? Just tell me the answer. N is greater than 4. I'm feeling pretty good about that. All right? Now, listen to me. I need everybody to put a little star by this one. All right? And this is only for the advanced. So, if you're one of the advanced, you got to listen a little bit extra careful here. Because again, the other ones are easy. This one's a little bit more complicated. And somebody tell me why it's a little bit more complicated.
The signs are facing the same.
The signs are facing the same way. All right, that's why it's a little bit more complicated. But it's not complicated for us because this is what I'm trying to teach you. If you understand what an or statement means, then this is easy. All right? So again, the or statement means that it has to be true for one or the other. Or it could be true for what? Both. All right? When you say something, both, if it's an or statement, both things could be true, or what? One of them could be true. If both things that you said were false, then what you said was what? False. In an and statement, both statements must be what? Both statements must be true, or what you said is what? That's exactly how you think about it. And means both things are true. Or means one of them could be true, or both of them could be true. So now, if you understand that, watch how simple this problem is. All right? For n greater than -2, all right, I'm going to do an open circle at -2, and I'm going to go to the right. All right? Then I'm going to do an open circle, all right, at 4, and I'm going to go to the right. Now, I'm going to go back, and I'm going to place this here because I'm trying to show you that they overlap. Does everybody agree with that? All right. So, now, please watch so you can be really smart. And it's really simple. But most people don't see it. So look up. All right. Are any of these numbers over here solutions?
No.
No. The reason why none of those are solutions is because is -4 greater than -2? No. Is -4 greater than 4? So that's not a solution. Are you hearing me? Right? Now remember what I told you. An or statement means it can be true for one or the other. All right, so now let's talk. From here to here, is that true? Yes. And why is it true? Although those numbers are not greater than 4, they are greater than what? They are greater than -2. So would that be part of the solution? Yes. All right. Now, I want to change it up, and I want you to look at here and hear me out. Are these problems over here part of the solution? Yes, because those are true for what? They are true for both of them. Hear me out now. Or statements can be true for one or both. So the answer is from -2 to infinity. All right? If you understand that, you're in fantastic shape. If you're a little sketchy, that's okay too. Now listen, I'm going to say one more thing and look up here so I can show you the last difficult part. Look up. I'm changing it from an or to an and. Now you don't have to do that. I'm just asking you a question. If I change it from an or to an and, now is the green part of the solution?
No.
Why not?
Because it's not greater than 4.
Because it's not greater than 4. Because an and statement means it has to be true for what? Both cases. So in the green, although it's true for greater than -2, it's not true for what?
4.
For greater than 4. So if it was an and statement, it would have to be true for what? Both statements. And in this particular case, if it were an and statement, you would say, hold on, if it was an and statement, you would say the answer is from 4 to infinity. All right? That's what you need to know. All right? And like I try to tell everybody, to me, there's so many rules for this, it's just impossible. All right? That's why if you make it make sense, it's really kind of easy. All right? And statement has to be true for both. Or can be true for what? One or the other, or both. All right? So let's knock out number 11 real quick. All right? Please listen. All right? Now I've got a problem because I'm solving it. We haven't seen something like this. But logically speaking, watch. -2, -2, -2. All right? That's all I did. So now I have 3h is less than or equal to 9. And I have greater than 3. Is everybody with me on this? Now what do you think I have to do? Divide by 3. Look how simple. So 1 less than h less than or equal to 3, which just means h is somewhere between what?
1 and 3.
H is somewhere between 1 and 3. Open circle at 1, solid at 3, this direction right here. Everybody good with that? All right. Now, if we had to write it in interval notation, obviously 1, 3 bracket. Any issues?
Why does it stop?
What?
Why didn't the arrow go on?
Because if it went on, this number over here would not be less than 3. This is a what? And statement. So it has to be true for both. All right? Let's look at number 12 now. All right? So, again, mental math, you should just look at that and automatically say C is what? Greater than -1. Double check yourself. Come on. Add 4, divide by 2. C is greater than -1. Any objections to that? All right. Over here now, C is what?
Less than 4.
Less than 4. So now I would really kind of want you to be able to tell me, come on, stop and listen to me. If you're greater than -1 and less than 4, what does that make you?
-1.
Yes. But how would you say that mathematically? There you go.
Oh.
X is between -1 and 4, which is what you said. That was good. So greater than -1, less than 4. Here's what we have. If we're doing it as a bracket, -1, 4. All right, now the hard part though is writing the correct inequality, the correct compound inequality. So where do we start? From left to, so what number do I put down first? -1, then I put the variable, then I put what? 4. That is correct. Now I am less than 4 and greater than -1. Everybody with me on that? All right, that requires practice, guys. That requires some practice. How much time do we have? Okay, perfect. Perfect. So again, very, very important information. Lots of good work. Now, the hard part is the word problems. So let's see if you can do this. All right, stay with me for the word problems. All right. Now, for the word problems, let me clear this up a little bit here. And then that'll give me room to write everything for you.
So we're not going to do 15.
These are the ones we're doing. 13 and 14. All right, here we go now. Stay with me. That was kind of good today. All right, here we go. So it says 2 times the number plus 1. How do I write that?
2n plus 1.
So that was easy. 2n plus 1 is greater than what?
5. And then
Wait a minute. Is greater than 5 and wow.
I got 5.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Let me think for 1 second. I think what they're trying to say. Hold on. Let me look at one thing. Yeah. Listen, what I want to do here now is, to be honest, I'm not sure if they're asking if they want 2n plus 1 to be greater than 5, and then 2n plus 1 to be what? Less than 7, right? So, I think that's how they want you to write it. 2n plus 1 is less than 7 and greater than 5. But again, that's kind of hard. So again, that's definitely not, I'm not, yeah. That's a little bit advanced. So that's why I'm saying we can kind of stop at 13. You can just stop right there. Now, number 14 is better. All right? 14 is better. And the reason why 14 is better, even though I'm pretty sure now that that is set up properly, 14 is a one that we would possibly have on the test. All right? So it would say a number minus 1 is at most 9. So if I have at most 9, I am right. So we want to say a number minus 1 is less than or equal to 9. Or, and then it's a completely new statement. Or what? Wait a minute. Or what? 2n. If I have at least 24, that means I have, greater than or equal to. All right. So now I would know n is what? Or, there you go. Now, I would hope, but it's not necessary, that you can kind of figure out what that would be in interval notation without drawing a graph. What do we got here, guys? That would be what?
Bracket, bracket 10,
Is that right? And then what?
Bracket 12. I thought you weren't able to have bracket.
I didn't. Somebody else said bracket.
What's
There you go. Forgive for saying bracket. I was listening. Blind and listening. Bad decision. Bad decision. I know. Yes, I would actually. All right. So here you go. Listen, your homework is to give the first page a shot. All right. Now again, exactly what I did. That's what I want duplicated on the first worksheet. Now again, if you're having some issues with the first worksheet and you want to listen to me explain it to the 8th grade, that's what I did for the 8th grade today. All right. So again, take a good look at it. There's a couple that are kind of sneaky. They go in the same direction. All right. So please be careful with that. Hey, listen, it's kind of tricky. If you don't put in the time, you're going to be making mistakes.